Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the Creative Inferno headset. First of all, I'd like to thank Creative for actually reaching out to me and asking me to review this. It's a great honor to actually review this simply because I've known Creative for a long time, ever since a kid growing up, and they've been the sound card of choice for a lot of people that build PCs. So huge honor for me to actually review this. So what I'm going to do is show you a little product overview of the Inferno, and then give you a recording sound quality test straight from the mic using Camtasia to record the audio, and my little USB sound card, and then also talk about the audio quality. So without further ado, let's get closer down to the headset. And here we are a little closer to the headset. So I just want to show you what you get in the package. First of all, you get a splitter, so to speak, for a microphone and line in, which is connected via 3.5mm jack over here. And then you got the microphone, which is removable, which is a great addition. More on that in just a bit. Now, looking at the headset itself, let's just talk about the build quality and design. First of all, as you can see, due to the Inferno theme, you've got a nice red theme going on from the headset all the way down to the wire. I really like this because, given at its price point, you wouldn't have expected any sort of styling, but it's nice to see this from Creative. Now, the wire itself is terminated by a straight 3.5mm gold-plated jack, which is great. That can be plugged in into any mobile device, and in other words, you can use this as a headphone. Over here you got the control pod, which is very useful, with a microphone mute button, which I'll get onto in my recording test. And then you've got the volume rocker key as well, which is really good in terms of adjusting the overall volume of the headset. Not the microphone volume, but the headset volume. Then you've got this little clip over here, which is a little bit fragile, but it's useful for just clipping on to your shirt. As we move up to the headset, as you can see, the wire is terminated on the left hand side of the headset, where the microphone is also plugged in over here. As I said, the microphone is removable, and it's a huge bonus to have this, simply because with a removable microphone it gives you a bit of longevity, and on top of that you can transform your headset into a headphone with just plugging out a simple wire. So it's great to see that. Speaking about removable things, the wire over here is not removable, but that said, it's not a big deal because at its given price point I would have expected that, but it would have been a huge plus if it was also removable. Now, as you can see, the headset itself, the drivers can pivot like so, meaning it's a little bit easier for portability's sake. That said, you don't get any sort of pouch or anything like that, so do bear that in mind if you're going to put that in your bag. Now, starting from the cup drivers themselves, I'd like to mention the comfort of them. Now, the comfort of them isn't that great, simply due to the actual diameter and the shape that Creative have chosen. It feels like an over-the-ear headset, but in fact it feels more like an on-ear whilst actually using them. I have got reasonably big ears, but even that said, I would say all my male friends would have trouble with it, but all my female friends will have no trouble with it. So in terms of your ear size, you should bear that in mind. If you've got reasonably big ears, then you might find it a little bit uncomfortable, especially for longer periods of listening or gaming. The pads themselves are also a little bit stiff, and therefore they do feel a little bit when you've got glasses like I do, and you can feel the glasses really pressing against your head due to its pretty stiff nature. They also do get a little bit warm over time just due to the material that's used, but that wasn't a big problem for me, but I think I should mention it anyway. Continuing with the comfort, I would like to talk about the headband. The headband itself is nice, and the padding over here is very sufficient for any type of head size. This is great for long periods of usage, and I didn't notice any problems of digging in of the plastic, which is pretty hard at the top. The headband can also be adjusted for different size heads, and that's great and pretty much an industry standard. The plastic at the top is pretty solid, as I was saying, but I wouldn't put it across me to pull this a little bit more and it could actually snap. That said, I don't expect anyone doing that, so it's not a big deal, but I should mention it either way. If I threw this down on the ground, would I expect it to break? Probably not. It would be pretty solid in terms of that. So I wouldn't worry too much about the actual plastic construction. One thing I would like to note is the fact that you've got a left and right indicator on the inner sides of the headset. The problem with this is that it's not very visible, but with that said, you're probably not going to need it due to knowing that the wire is on the left hand side. It's always going to be on the left hand side, so when you pick it up you will know straight away. It wouldn't have been bad for Creative to add a Creative logo or a Inferno logo over here. I think it would have given it a nice little touch, but either way, not a biggie, just something I just thought to mention. Anyway, enough of the product overview. Let's go on to the recording test and the sound quality opinions and thoughts. And right now everything you're hearing is coming straight from the Creative headset. As you'll be able to hear, the audio quality is actually pretty good in terms of its recording quality. I was impressed myself. When listening back, I didn't find any problems with it. I found that the quality was quite good. My sound didn't sound any sort of tinny or anything like that, and there was not too much background noise at the back. It also wasn't too boomy of any sort either. So the sound quality is actually very good, and I'm very impressed by it, especially again due to its 35 to £40 nature. On top of that, it can be a little bit cheaper in America for about £30 or so. So very impressive for its recording quality, no matter its price. But I should mention that you are limited. As you saw, that the connections that you're going to get are 3.5mm jacks, so therefore it depends on what setup you've got. I haven't got an amazing setup recording wise. I've just got a cheap little USB sound card which does the job for me. As you'll be able to hear, it does a pretty decent job. I'm sure you'll agree. But the problem with this is that if you don't have the flexibility to do that, or if you don't have a sound card, then you're going to be relying on your onboard audio, so do bear that in mind when getting it. One thing I should mention, however, and it's something as I said I wanted to get to, is this little mute button on the microphone, well, the slider should I say. When I mute the slider, essentially when I unmute it again, so I want to speak again, it takes an extra couple of seconds to turn on. So what I'm going to do is just talk continuously, and I'm just going to do this and you'll be able to see me mute the mic. So I'm going to be talking right now at the same rate, and you'll be able to hear that the microphone comes and only kicks in after a certain amount of time. So it's a bit weird. There's kind of like a lag between turning it on and wanting to speak rather than turning off. Turning off is pretty instantaneous, but when you switch it on, there's a slight little lag. I don't know what the cause is of this, but you should just bear that in mind when talking to people and you want to unmute and you just want to start speaking. Just bear that couple of seconds in mind before starting. I think it's a slight design flaw, but I'm gonna really hold it against Creative. Not really, simply due to its price again. I think it's due to its price, it can be forgiven. If this was like a £100 headset, then I would have said this is a pretty fundamental flaw. But anyway, it's something you should bear in mind while buying it. Now, the audio quality itself, be it for a headset or a headphone, I personally found absolutely sensational. It is only £35 and £40, you have to bear this in mind, and it's also a headset, which you don't find much in terms of that price range. And it does an amazing job. Okay, the sound quality is not mind-blowing, it's not something I'd go, whoa, I need to get this straight away. The highs are a little bit rolled off, and the mids are pretty dampened and pretty pushed back, and the bass is quite well extended. And on top of that, the soundstage feels a little bit muffled, but it is a £35 headset, and I said headset, not headphone. So even if this was a headphone at its given price range, I probably would have still recommended it. So what I'm trying to say is that this headset comes in at a great price. I haven't come across a headphone, let alone a headset, that comes at a similar price to produce such amazing quality of sound. As I said, it's not a mind-blowing sound quality, but it's great for its price. In terms of comparison to other things I've heard, I would have probably said £60 to £70 or equivalent audio grade headphones I've heard would come close to it. So it's very impressive. It does really well in terms of punching above its weight in terms of audio quality, and on top of that, coupled with the recording quality and the overall build and looks of it, I think it's a great package. So overall, the actual Creative Inferno headset gives a huge thumbs up from me. I'm really impressed with the Inferno. I'm very excited to see what other Creative headsets are out there, because this really impressed me at its really low price point. I can't even imagine what the higher price point things are going to sound like. So it's a great headphone, let alone headset. So if you're actually looking for a headphone for around £35 to £40, I would actually suggest this. Its looks are good, comfort not so great, but overall the sound quality and recording is really good. I know I said recording for a headphone, which I shouldn't, but it's really good. Now if you think of a headset, then it's sensational value for money. On top of that, I read on the box that it's compatible with a PS4. I don't have a PS4, I can't test, but supposedly it's compatible with a PS4 as well, which makes it even more versatile, that you can actually use it on a console as well, despite being on Glorious PC Master Race. So in other words, you can use it on multiple platforms, and I said before, you can actually use it on your mobile as well. So what can I say? Great headphone, great headset. What's not to like? So overall, guys, I really do think you should actually check this out. If you're looking for a cheap headset or headphone even, definitely check out the Creative Inferno. Great job by Creative. I'm really impressed by it, and yeah, I just really am excited to see what comes up next from Creative. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It always helps. And on top of that, if you favorite and share, spreading a little love, it's all good. Everyone loves that. Definitely do let me know your comments below if you have this headset, thinking about getting this headset, or if you want some extra comments about it, if it wasn't covered in this video or in my written review, which will be in the description below. Let me know. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed, and this has been the Creative Inferno headset. Take care. Bye bye.